Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you in. Thanks for joining us. The new drug today, Frangie and Carlyon, JJ LaSelva with you. Is our final trip to the JU campus for today. For JU Days, they're trying to raise money for their athletic department. We are glad to be here. We also thank our friends from the Nimnick family of dealerships. That coincides well since Nimnick is a big JU sponsor. You see Billy Nimnick's name right there on that JU floor. Billy Nimnick Jr. and Billy Nimnick III, who runs it now. Billy Nimnick Jr., God rest his soul, taught me how to buy cars once upon a time, and I don't think I've gone anywhere else. So we certainly appreciate our friends from Nimnick. Always a Nimnick Tuesday around here, and again, it fits perfectly that we're here at JU. Frangie and Carlyon here. I love it out here. I love coming to the campuses. It's a great place to get away.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous day, and my goodness, these items that they've got up for auction are sensational.
Yeah,
I mean, so if you get a chance, go check this out because there's some fantastic sports memorabilia and some great vacation getaways.
Boy, they're real. Let me tell you some of the things that you have a chance to get here. Ready? There's and by the way, you can see the items. If you want to see the items, go to juday.givesmart.com. Let me say it to you again, juday.givesmart.com, and you can see the items. But, I mean, you talk about some good items. There's an all-expense trip to Tahoe, all-expense trip to Lake Tahoe. It includes airfare for two. It includes great accommodations. If you haven't been to Tahoe, it's magnificent. And to a Night Monsters game. Our friend David Hodges, one of the owners of that team, donated that. And so that's going to be a blast. How about this? Oh, by the way, an all-expense trip to Las Vegas. Okay, I think you're going like in a month or so, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Okay, you should have bought this. You should have bought this before
absolutely.
You went. All-expense trip to Las Vegas. To see a Golden Knights hockey game, and they're going to put you up there. And how about this? An all-expense trip to the Magic game where you get a VIP behind-the-scenes experience with D. Brown's going to take you down there. Can you imagine that, hanging out with D at the Magic game, and he takes you all around? An all-expense trip to New York to include a trip to the New York Stock Exchange. So, I mean, there's some legit gifts on this thing now. So check it out. You can go to the website, juday.givesmart.com. And that gets you to the website. And again, if you want to bid, text JUDAY to 76278. I can get it out. 76278, and then you can bid. It's really that easy. But go to the website, you'll see these great ents. And I mean, I can't imagine a trip to Tahoe. I might have been on the dang trip to Tahoe. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. If you haven't been to Tahoe, we went 10 years ago. I've been a few times. I think we went 10 years ago. You ever been to Tahoe?
I have not.
It's honest to God, it's magnificent. So you want to get some great items here. So and we'll kind of take you through some of those items. There's a trip to a great cabin, one of those just near the Poconos. One of those cabin getaways is there as well. So there's all kind of really, really, really fun stuff. A day at the Ponte Vedra Inn and Club. I mean, there's how about a Jerry Rice jersey, a Joe Namath jersey autographed, a Mike Allstott jersey autographed. All kind of really, really good items on here. The D. Brown, the dunk. How about that picture? The D with the dunk contest after pumping up the shoes. So it's a lot of really good gifts. Again, go on the website to check them out, juday.givesmart.com. Text JUDAY to 76278. And see if you can help them out a little bit. And they're raising money for the athletic department. We've had guests all day long, some of the terrific guests. Murph and D. Brown on the morning, which was fantastic. A lot of the coaches have been on since then, Jordan Mincy among them. Chris Hays, the JU baseball coach, will join us in about 10 minutes or so. And then Tim Koss, the president of JU, will kind of round out the day, and we're really looking forward to visiting with him. So a lot of fun stuff coming up today on the program. So again, it's our JU Day, and we're proud to be here, and we're happy to be here to tell you all about JU athletics and all the things going on with the JU athletic program. All right, other things going on in the world of sports. The GM search, I think, is underway. I heard you during the handoff, you were talking to the guys around the search. It's hard to handicap the field because we don't know them. It's not like coaches where you saw how they coach and the plays they call, even with assistant coaches. It's a harder deal because so far we just don't know the guys.
Yeah, and again, I think that's why it's going to primarily come down to Liam Cohen's relationship with the candidates. And you know, you can obviously see ties to most of these guys, whether it's through the organization, Liam's worked with them. In Cunningham's case, there's a number of connections. So, yeah, I think the obviously it's a coach-centric organization now. with Liam Cohen. And so the biggest thing is finding somebody that Liam Cohen is fired up to work with. And I don't think that'll be overly difficult. I don't think it'll be overly difficult to find a candidate that's excited to become a general manager and have the opportunity to continue to build what's here. So I wouldn't think this would have a lot of setbacks to it. It's just a question of how many candidates do they want to interview before they go ahead and make the hire. And, I would think you're probably 5 to 7 days out from a hire. That would give a candidate, some time to at least get, their office set up before leaving for Indianapolis for the Combine, where, as we know, it's not just about watching guys run the 40. I mean, that's where, if you're a general manager, that's where trades happen. The legal tampering window hasn't started yet, but it kind of unofficially starts in Indianapolis in those corridors in that gigantic convention center.
Is it big?
It is
a big
big.
Convention center?
Yes.
It's about as big as Palatka.
Yeah, it really is. So you need to have somebody up to speed. You need to have a pretty good idea organizationally of what you're looking for in free agency, because you want to talk to those agents. Obviously everything's unofficial, but get a sense of a number and things like that. And look, I don't think the Jaguars are going to be overly active in terms of trades, but you want to be there. You want to be entrenched. You want to have an identity of where you're trying to get to, because it's the Combine is obviously, we know it's more of a medical thing than anything else, but the fans, love the testing component of it, and that's fun. But really, from a personnel standpoint, it's a huge 4 or 5 days, because deals will get done at the Combine. They're not supposed to, but it happens every year. Will continue to happen every year.
Yeah, the Combine, by the way, is 2 weeks away. I think what you'll see with the Jaguar GM search is this. I think they will interview 8 to 10 people in initial interviews. I think that's how it'll start. I then think you'll see roughly 3 finalists brought in for the second interview, and then they'll hire one of the 3 finalists. I think that's the way it's going to play out. Who knows who they're going to wind up hiring? I will tell you, I would imagine the names you've read, and the Jags have done a very good job. They've already started to distribute some of the names of folks that they have completed interviews with or requested interviews with. But I think you'll see 9 or 10 interviews, give or take. And then I think you'll see 3 finalists brought in for the second interview, and I think they will hire one of the finalists. I do think, and I don't know if he's going to be the GM or not, but I do think Ethan Waugh is the guy that will probably be one of the finalists. I think he's earned that. I think he's done a good job handling it. And I have no idea, and I don't want to misrepresent this, I have no idea who's going to be a good GM, who's not going to be a good GM. I will tell you this. Don't assume that Ethan Waugh is Trent Baalke 2.0. And this isn't to rag on Baalke, but don't assume because he was with him at San Francisco and Trent brought him here that he's Trent Baalke 2.0. Number one, from what I'm told, he's not. But beyond that, I wouldn't make that assumption. If Ethan Waugh is close to getting this job, I don't want to misrepresent this. I have no idea. But if he is, they will vet him as hard as they'll vet the other guys, Ian Cunningham and James Gladstone and all the others. I don't pretend to know who. I will tell you this. Just everywhere you read, and this isn't inside information, this is me reading Twitter, people love this Gladstone guy. Have you noticed that?
Because he's got some clips out there that the Rams have put out.
And maybe that's what it is.
And he's young. And look, he sounds very smart, strategic. So, I can see why people would be fired up. I would agree with you on Ethan. I've always been impressed with Ethan when he's talked, like, during the draft. Post-draft, we've gotten Ethan, and to hear him kind of go through the selection and things that they liked, I've always been impressed with him. And, I think from a personality standpoint, he's much different than Trent Baalke. And look, if the Jaguars should have a pretty good idea of things that Ethan was right on and things that Ethan wasn't right on. I mean, yes, Trent Baalke's gone, but there's got to be somebody in that building that has a pretty good idea of what Ethan Waugh thought of some players that we've already started to see either pan out or not pan out. And I think in looking at it, I almost think you're embarrassing him if he's not a finalist. So I would think ideally the situation would be you would hire a GM and Ethan Waugh would stay on in his current role. But if they decide to go with Ethan Waugh, I think it's a mistake to look at it like, that they settled or they didn't want to do the work or that he's not a good candidate. I mean, Ethan Waugh has impressive credentials, and I do think he's totally his own man away from Trent Baalke. I don't think there'd be any Baalke residue left over if Ethan Waugh was promoted to GM. I don't think that's where it'll land. But he should get an interview and he should get strong consideration.
Yeah, and I think you said it exactly right. Don't make the assumption. Again, my guess is he'll be a finalist because he's probably earned that. But again, I think 9 or 10 people will be interviewed, whoever they are. At some point, I think they'll bring in 3 finalists. 2, 3, 4. I think a handful of finalists, and I think the finalists that get the second interview, the new general manager will come from that group. So it'll be fun. It's less sexy because, like I said, we just don't know. We just don't know them. So, but again, I would and I kept reading everywhere Ian Cunningham. I have no idea. You read it everywhere. But I will tell you, and my guess is, like you said, my guess is he's a sharp cat. He wouldn't be popping up this many places if he wasn't a pretty sharp dude. And again, the Gladstone's the name you hear that people really that every time someone talks to him, they're pretty much blown away by him. And again, you read all about all these guys. You made a good point. I didn't know that. So some of the way he communicates has been out there. And I didn't realize that. So that would lead to a lot of that. But I'm just telling you, he's a very highly thought guy.
And it's specific to player acquisition, which is going to excite fans. But again, that's the thing. Like with any of these hires, if it's a lieutenant in a front office, you just really don't know exactly what they were handling. I mean that's not something that clubs put out there. That's why it was so amazing when the Giants had the off-season Hard Knocks. And you saw the conversations that their front office went through about whether to re-sign Saquon Barkley or let him hit the market. I mean, you just don't normally get a sense of the team and everybody's role on the team. So, again, it really comes down to if you have confidence in Liam Cohen, then have confidence that he's going to hire the right GM. And beyond that, it's going to be hard to speak hugely positive or negatively about it because, again, they're hiring somebody who has never been a GM.
Yeah, so we'll see what winds up. And we'll talk about that as the show goes along today. A lot of things. We'll get to Gator basketball, a big one tonight. They're all big ones, aren't they? We'll certainly talk about that. We'll talk some Jaguars. We'll talk about the aftermath of the Super Bowl. 1 million people expected at that Philadelphia parade. 1 million on Broad Street. I walked on Broad Street this year.
It's going to be fun.
So I got that going for me, Hayes.
Yeah.
Okay, walked right up and down Broad Street. So, you don't get that every day.
You don't.
So, but it's JU Day today. All kind of auction items again. JUDAY, JUday.givesmart.com. You can't believe some of these items. A trip to Lake Tahoe. All expenses paid, flight, accommodations, all of it, and go to one of those Night Monsters hockey games. A trip to Vegas, all expenses are paid, and a Golden Knights hockey game. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is great stuff, and it's all raising money for the JU Athletic Department. And go on here. I mean, Ponte Vedra golf for a day. Autographs from Jerry Rice and Joe Namath. I mean, it is a great list of items on this website, so go check them out. How about Nolan Ryan autograph?
Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball.
Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball. I mean, it's all kind of good stuff. Go on there and check out these unbelievable items. A hitting list from Daniel Murphy. I may buy that one, just see if Murphy can see how my swing looks.
Yeah.
It's been a while, Hayes. I don't know how my swing will look. You know? See if I got anything left.
Sure.
Want to see that? So there's that.
Make sure our digital team is out there for that.
Please make sure of that so nobody gets hurt. If somebody does, well, it needs to be recorded.
Right.
Well, let's talk JU baseball. Take a break. When we come back, our friend Chris Hayes will join us. He is the terrific baseball coach here at JU. He's up after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show
From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
You've got a lot on your mind.
Text me the play-by-play.
And so do we.
And make no mistake about it, gentlemen.
This is Jacksonville Sports Radio, 1010XL.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Your home is your sanctuary where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
After consulting with several orthopedic specialists about my constant knee pain, I chose Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and Dr. Chris Swanson to handle my surgery. Their professionalism let me know this team was the one for me. The surgery was very successful, and if I ever have a future need, I'll continue to trust Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to take care of me.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I open the door and take you inside the locker room to get you closer to the field, the players and coaches you care about.
Get a look at Hays' blog on 1010XL.com.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reese Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Roses are red, violets are blue. A broken pipe? That's no way to woo. This Valentine's Day, don't let plumbing or HVAC problems ruin the romance. 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com.
Hammond, Valentine's Day is coming up. Got any romantic plans?
Dad, I'm married to Clean Air. My plan is to help Jacksonville families breathe easier.
You're helpless, but Clean Air does sound nice. Can duct cleaning really help?
Absolutely. Dust, allergens, even odors can build up in your ducts. Cleaning them now makes your air fresher and healthier for your family. The EPA says better indoor air quality can reduce health risk.
So cleaning ducts are like Valentine's Day gift for the house.
Exactly. Forget chocolates. Fresh air lasts longer and doesn't melt. Plus, we've got a February special, $100 off your total.
All right, sign me up. Maybe fresh air will make Mom fall in love with me again all over.
You'll have to take her to dinner for that, but cleaner air will definitely help.
Fair enough. Jacksonville, if you're ready to show your home some love, Google Zerorez and read over 7,000 five-star reviews. Zerorez.
Spelled Florida backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zerorez. Zerorez.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. No matter the weather, Triumph has an unbelievable selection of rides where you can get out and just enjoy the highway.
They do. The new Rocket is out with the new color schemes, the Tiger 1200, which has been revamped. These bikes are nice, gorgeous, and ready to ride.
And if you want to take a look at the selection, they can just roll into the showroom and see a full variety.
We've got them all in stock and ready to go.
So if you log on, cyclesofjacksonville.com, search the Triumph line, and then head into the showroom. You'll be impressed. Cycles of Jacksonville.
Come join the drill live and on location this Thursday at Lifetime Enclosures on Phillips Highway, which means specials on enclosures and flooring, only good in February. Lifetime Enclosures open house runs Saturday the 15th, 10 to 3. Be there.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Welcome back. It is JU Day here on a Nimnick Tuesday. Once again, the website, juday.givesmart.com. All kind of terrific items, like a trip to Lake Tahoe, like a trip to Las Vegas, behind-the-scenes VIP experience with the Orlando Magic. Incredible items, and we'll tell you more about those as we continue on the program today. My buddy Chris Hays is the baseball coach who does a terrific job joining us on the program. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
Good to see you.
If I could figure out where those trips came from, I'd like to ride those coattails.
I said the same thing. I may buy one or two of those, but there's so many good things on here. We'll get to baseball in a second. But athletics are important. Tim Costa is going to join us in about a half an hour. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Tim played baseball here, obviously, but certainly understands the importance of that. You've been involved in college athletics for a long time. Tell me in your words the connection and the importance of athletics to a college campus.
I think it provides energy for the campus. I think athletics can really serve as kind of the front porch, the patio, the gateway into what the university is. I mean, JU isn't athletics. Jacksonville University itself stands for so many other things, but it does give people a portal to pay attention to what's going on over here in Arlington, and how many positives that we have affected over many years.
What was the off season like for you guys, and how do you feel about your club as we get a few days away from the start of things?
Oh, the fall was amazing. I love the guys that we've got and the work that we've put in. The summer was a different story. It happened pretty quick for us, and the season ended right there at the end of May, and by the middle of June, we're trying to rebuild the roster. And it was definitely a challenge. It was a challenge for me and our coaching staff, Colby Bortles and Casey Kalina, and trying to figure out, one, when it was going to stop, and then two, how many are we going to need, and what do we do, and who. It's not just getting players. It's just not accruing people. It's finding the right people. It's about finding the people that are going to thrive here in our program, what we stand for, what the university stands for. And I got to give the utmost credit, and really all the credit, to Colby and to Casey for putting this roster together and making sure that we survive what went on over the summer.
Yeah, and what went on over the summer is the same thing that happens. A good mid-major program with a bunch of really good players go to Power 4 schools. That's the world we live in. How do you manage that, Chris? And you told us during the break, and you made a great point. Complaining about it doesn't do any good. It's the world we're in. I get it. But you still got to manage it.
Oh, 100%.
How do you manage it?
Well, you got to stay positive. I mean, you got to assess. You have to continue to work and focus on your strengths, really identify who we are, always willing to share our story, and look for an opportunity to build a relationship somewhere and anchor a relationship. But for me, the priority with our program and our coaches is to invest in our guys. We got 35 guys on our roster. Invest in every single one of those guys. Make sure they know that every single person on this coaching staff and the athletic staff is there for them and to support them in their experience. And continue to just help them understand. Let's celebrate who we are, what we are. We have goals, we have expectations. Just because some of the guys that were in this locker room are no longer here, that doesn't change what our drive is and what our goal is. We continue to celebrate people like Richie Long and Blake Barquin, Blake Delamalure, guys, Josh Steidel, that have been here for 4 and 5 years.
Yeah.
These are JU lifers, and I'm thankful to have them, and they're the leaders of our program.
What do you think will be your strengths this year as a team?
I love our depth. I really do. Even though we had a lot of work to do over the summer, I feel really good. Especially from a position player standpoint, you talk about our two deep, you talk about what we designate as the starter and potentially the backup. Feel really good about every position. We're very athletic. We're very versatile. We've got every infielder, and this is kind of a thing, as a value of mine. It's something I really want to focus on. It's just versatility. And every single one of our infielders can play multiple positions. Every single one of our outfielders can play multiple positions. And it gives us a chance to put together the best lineup possible. In this yard, we've always got to be able to pitch. We've always got to be able to play defense. And we've always got to be able to run. At covering, it's 340 down the lines and 405 to dead center with a 12-foot wall. Yeah, we got to be able to go get it. And we can't there's no cheapies here at John Sessions Stadium. And so we're going to build through athleticism. And I love where we're at position player wise. Pitching wise, you bring back Richie Long, preseason pitcher of the year, and Blake Barquin. We've added some guys on the back end of the bullpen. And if we can stay healthy on the pitching staff, I know Casey's going to have them ready. And I feel really good about where we are.
Yeah, I'm guessing probably over the years you've probably had friends of yours say to bring that wall in. You haven't really listened to them, apparently. But
yeah, a friend that was on the show earlier today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and matter of fact, that friend might have more merit than I do. But I was screaming about it before he was. Okay, bring the fence in. It's too big. And I'm a pitcher, by the way, so I should love it. Tell me about Richie Long. Obviously, he's the preseason pitcher of the year in the A-Sun, so he's obviously really good. Tell me about him.
He's as reliable as the day is long. 4 pitches for strikes, 88 to 92. Has the ability to throw any pitch in any count. But he's prepared. He works fast. He's reliable, dependable. He's a pro in between his work. Never gets too high. Never gets too low. As a former infielder, he's an absolute delight to watch because you're going to stay engaged in the game and you're going to have a shot. And he's earned it. He's earned the right. He's going to start for us on Friday against West Virginia. And he's earned that right. And he's been doing it for, in the rotation for us for a long time.
How good do you think the A-Sun is this year?
I think the top half of the A-Sun is really good. I think we've added, with the expansion of the A-Sun, we've brought some teams that maybe aren't traditional baseball schools, more basketball-oriented schools. But the top half of the A-Sun is really good, especially the 4 teams in the state of Florida.
Let me ask you this. Because the league changes a lot, baseball's different than the other sports. You got to learn the fields. You got to learn. Austin Peay plays at a Little League field. You got to. They do. I'm not making this up. They play like at a Little League field, right? It's a Little League field.
It is short.
And so when the league changes a lot, it's even harder for the baseball people, I would think. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Then because there's a lot to learn about the culture of a baseball game.
Yeah, and it's such a routine type sport, and to bring in. And for us, in the way the conference layout is, when we go and travel, we play a 3-game series. It can get a little pricey whenever you got to fly 4 times a year just to get in conference. So it can really attack your budget. So I do appreciate the A-Sun shifting things a little bit this year, where we're going 2 divisions. You play your division twice. So we're playing 6 games against UNF and Stetson and Gulf Coast, Queens, and West Georgia. We won't see the other side of the bracket till we get to the tournament. And
I didn't realize that. Not at all.
Not at all.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's a baseball setup that I think they're considering going with the rest of the conference or rest of the teams as well, just to limit the travel expenses that are associated with athletics.
Who are some newcomers that you're excited about?
I'm going to start in the infield. We've got 2. Sammy Mumau is a transfer from the University of Florida, and Jonah Shields, who actually has some JU legacy and JU ties. That really excited about both of those players. They're energy guys that are extremely dependable. They both, they can play any position on the infield. Jonah actually played center field for a team out in California last year, but he's an infielder by trade. And then you look up on the mound, you've got Colin Rothamel, Alex Walsh, Josh Fernald, Anthony Cordero, and Nick Anello have really made an impact for us on the mound. And we're excited about what they can be, how much length they can provide us. But then also on the back end, we got a couple guys that are going to get the last out of the game, which is special.
Ian Shields, the former football coach here, is Jonah's dad.
Oh, wow.
So Jonah is an Ian Shields all-time good guy.
100%.
So really good to see his son, Jonah, who's a good player, wind up here at JU. Before I let you get out of here, the importance of today, obviously raising money for JU athletics. To people listening to this thing, the difference in a student's life, the opportunity to play college athletics teaches them a lot, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And for us to continue to try to enhance their experience. And I talked to we just had alumni weekend last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and talking to the alums and helping them understand these guys today have it better than anybody else in the Jacksonville University uniform. And guess what? Next year, that group's going to have it better than anybody else. You continue to push ceilings and try to reach and attain things that we've never attained before, but you also want to continue to raise the floor. And you always want to continue to raise what it is that we're providing on a routine daily basis for our guys. And that's going to move the needle for our players. They know that they're being taken care of. We're a development-minded program. I mean, for us, we're going to get good players that are highly recognized out of high school, but we're going to get a lot of players that are more recognized when they leave. And in order to develop, you have to invest in the person from a physical standpoint, a spiritual standpoint, emotional standpoint, and a psychological standpoint. And to continue to, that's not free,
Right.
and continue to fundraise and continue to raise money for their experience, because it's going to make their lives better. They're going to reach their potential, and they're going to be closer to their potential than anybody ever has in a JU Dolphin uniform.
I can tell you this as we wrap here. You know how I feel about the baseball community, Hays, in Jacksonville. And I can tell you this, when every clinic we have at walk-off, doesn't matter the weather, doesn't matter what's happening that night, I'll look over and I'll see a ton of JU players, I'll see a ton of UNF players, and I'll see Chris Hays and Merck talking about baseball and sports and life, and probably walk off a little bit, and just the commitment of the coaches in this city, and Joe Mercadante at UNF, and of course Chris has been here forever. The commitment to young people in the area means the world to me, and I tell you that off the air all the time, so let me say it to you on the air. How committed you are to our cause is a big deal to me, and because it tells me how committed you are to young people into this community, so I appreciate that.
This is home for me. I mean, I grew up here. I grew up playing at San Souci. I grew up going to Love Grove and Landon and Inglewood High School, and for me to have an opportunity to raise my family here and to continue to give back to the community of Jacksonville means the world to me too. So thank you, and I appreciate all your work, because I know it's not easy.
The San Souci Inglewood people, we kind of bond. We stick together there. Chris, good luck this season. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate y'all being here.
Back in a moment on 1010.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
We don't take no from anyone.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
We don't take no prisoners. We don't take no for an answer.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Oh, yeah. We don't take no for an answer.
I'm Renee Harrell. At Harrell & Harrell, we understand when you've been in an accident, there's a lot to handle. You've lost pay, and now the medical bills are piling up. When there isn't much insurance, some attorneys will pay your bills, take their fee, leaving you with even less than them. Not at Harold & Harold. We'll work hard to reduce your medical bills, and we promise our fee will never be more than you take home. Call us today, 904-251-1111. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hicken here for Bound 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bound 9. Visit Bound 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bound 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Upgrade your home with the winning combination of style and performance from Renewal by Andersen. Energy efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. For a limited time, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires February 28th. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Guys, Valentine's Day is coming. Don't run out of time. Jacksonville Flower Market on Beach and Southside has fresh, beautiful flowers she'll love. Mention radio to get 10% off. They'll even customize the bouquet so it's unique to her. Jacksonville Flower Market on Beach and Southside.
If you'd like to try something different this year for Valentine's Day, you'll find great gift ideas from
Beard's Diamonds and Jacksonville Flower Market.
Find everything you need to know at 1010XL.com. Happy Valentine's Day from 1010XL.
My name is Paul. I'm 58 years old. I lost 45 pounds thanks to the Awaken 180 program. Before Awaken 180, I was drinking Pepto out of the bottle at night to go to sleep from heartburn. I was struggling getting up and down the stairs, like tired all the time. I didn't know that's how it wasn't supposed to be. I just accepted that's how my life is. And then one day I said, it doesn't have to be this way. I made a decision to change my life and I chose Awaken 180, and that was the best choice I ever made. I needed support. I'm a person who needed support. Awaken 180 provided that support for me. They changed my relationship with food. I changed it with their guidance. That was the whole thing. I had to change my relationship with food. And I learned how to eat. I learned healthy fats. I learned all about sugar and what it does to me. And I just learned a new way to live.
A change Paul and I both needed, and we received with Awaken 180. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
What is the most populated city in the world? The answer next.
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
With a population of an astounding 37.7 million people, Tokyo, Japan is the most populated city in the world.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Standing 5'9" and weighing about 190 pounds, who would have thought that this kid from Louisiana would have had such an impact on the NFL? But his impact off the field is what makes work done incredible. The former Florida State running backs Home for the Holidays program provides housing for struggling families and time for Christmas. He has provided and furnished over 150 houses and counting. I'm E.T., and this Black History Month profile on 1010XL is brought to you by Instant Keys. Fast, professional, honest locksmith service.
It's game time for your business, and Advanced Business Solutions has the winning play. With Xerox copiers, you'll never miss a deadline. Fast, reliable, and built for high performance, Xerox copiers keep your team ahead of the competition. From printing to scanning, Xerox brings the MVPs of efficiency to your office. Ready to make the winning move? Hire the champions at Advanced Business Solutions. Veteran owned.
Printers, copiers, and IT management. Advanced Business Solutions.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnik Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Hey, we're glad you're with us on this very special Nimnik Tuesday. Frangie and Carlyon here. JJ LaSelva back at World Headquarters. Our Duval County Scholar Athlete will be here on Thursday since we were on the road here on Tuesday. Tim Koss will join us in about 20 minutes. He is the president of JU, one of my favorite people in the world. He's a star, the school president, and he will be with us. Can't wait to have Tim stop by in about 20 minutes, and we'll kind of wrap this up. Do want to remind you, JU Day means we're here. They are putting on a big auction to help grow their athletic department, and certainly it's hard. It's harder than ever with NIL, and you know this, Hays. And so you make money any way you can. So they invited us out to help the cause a little bit, and we're happy to help our local schools. We always have been. But I do want you to go on the website, juday.givesmart.com, and you can see incredible items. I've been telling you about this. An all-expense trip to Las Vegas to see the hockey team there, and they put you up. Airfares included in that. An all-expense paid trip to Tahoe is one I think I'm going to take. Again, they will put you up. The airfare, the hotel, I think they're staying – I'm talking out. I think maybe staying in Harris. I think that's right about that. I may be talking out there, but I think so. But you get the point. An incredible Jerry Rice jersey, a Mike Allstar, Ken Griffey Jr. baseball, a Nolan Ryan signed jersey. It's amazing how much stuff they have. Patrick Young basketball, behind the scenes trip with the Orlando Magic. These are $300. These are $3,000, $5,000 values that you can right now go. You bid now. You get an awfully good buy on that. There's your vacation, for crying out loud, and some an awful lot of fun stuff too. A goalie lesson with John Galloway. If you're a lacrosse, if your son or daughter plays lacrosse, John Galloway might be the best goalie ever play, like of all time. Steve Griffin, our boss at 1010, who knows more about lacrosse than anybody I've ever known, says Galloway might be the best goalie ever played. And so I mean, think about that. So a lesson with him. It's incredible stuff. Golfer for all day long at Ponte Vedra. Again, the Jerry Rice jersey, the Joe Namath jersey. So go on the website, juday.givesmart.com, and a hitting lesson with Murph is all kind of fun stuff. So it's really cool stuff. So I hope you'll do that. Again, JU Day will be here for the rest of the day. Most of our shows have been here. A lot of our shows have been here all day long today. We talked about the GM search. We'll continue to update you on that as the days and the weeks go along. Florida, Mississippi State tonight. At the hump, as my friend Matt Hays calls it. I told Matt that you've been there. Actually, I haven't. I've been to football there. I've been to baseball there, but I've not been to basketball in Starkville. Letdown game, concern. Elijah Martin may or may not play. I haven't seen an update on that. Can Florida possibly find the energy after having such extreme energy 3 days ago? Now, people say, oh, it's only 30 games. You should always be up. Well, that's not the real world. The real world is sometimes you're not. That, I would think, is the question as far as from the Florida side of this game tonight.
Well, and again, Mississippi State is very good. I mean, that's the other
and then there's
variable in all of this is that, they're 29th in the net rankings. They're easily in the NCAA field right now. Now, they've slipped a little bit. They're 17-6 overall. They're 5-5 in league play. So they haven't been as strong late, but again, that's Florida now having to deal with a team that, isn't necessarily desperate, but could certainly get a massive resume boost. Big quad one win for Mississippi State if they're able to take down Florida at home tonight. One thing that I think Florida is going to have to watch out for is the turnover margin. Mississippi State is much better than the Gators when it comes to that. They're plus 3.5 on the season. Florida's just plus 1.3. So Florida needs to avoid having the kind of game where, they've got 18 turnovers. Mississippi State only has 12. And then you've got to overcome that. But I think the matchup sets up pretty well for Florida. I think offensively, if they come to play, Mississippi State, I don't think is going to have a lot of answers for slowing them down. One thing, too, that's really interesting about this game, obviously you have Riley Kugel, who's one of the first players off of the bench for Mississippi State. I think he averages about 21 minutes a game. It's a little lower than what he was averaging when he was a Gator. But you'll certainly see him. So you got to worry about Riley Kugel because we know how he is. He's one of these guys that if you catch him on the wrong night, he'll drop 27 and look like he should be a lottery pick in the NBA. And then for 4 games, he'll do nothing. So, you have to worry about that because obviously he's going to be incredibly motivated. Mississippi State also has R.J. Melendez, who was at Georgia last year. If you remember Georgia, well, you were at the game.
I was at the game.
Yeah. He scored 35 points.
His one-game career at Georgia,
right.
I was there. He made everything.
Yeah. And now he hasn't had a strong year this year. He's only shooting like 28%. But again, when he sees the orange and blue, does that give him some confidence? Does he hit a couple early, which gets him going? I think ultimately you're going to see a pretty high-scoring game. I do think Florida is going to get it done. I think that they have to be on guard, certainly, and they have to play well. But I think getting that win against Auburn is going to propel them more than it's going to be something that, they're resting on their laurels and they're not going to have a lot of intensity for this. I mean, if you're Todd Golden, look, you can put in front of them, guys, you are close to a 1 seed. You're not there yet, but we are close to securing a 1 seed. You can't let any of these games slip. And really, it's their last huge game for about 2 weeks in terms of playing against another really good team. They've got a rivalry game in there against Georgia, 4 games out. But for the most part, I would say if you're Todd Golden, like summon it tonight because from your next 3 after this are against teams that really are struggling in league play. I mean, South Carolina is 0-10. Oklahoma is 3-7 in the SEC. LSU is 1-9. So I would say that my guess is Florida will play well tonight. It will certainly help having Elijah Martin. All indications are that they will have him available. So yeah, I would expect Mississippi State to have their moments. But I would think Florida gets the win. They're only a 1.5 point favorite, by the way. This very tight game is what's expected.
Yeah, and this is going to be a tight game. This is going to be, and again, I'll say it again. You might not think that letdown stuff is real, but it is real. It's they're kids. You can't. It'd be nice if you could be up and have the same energy every game. They're not robots. They're not. They're human beings playing. They just had the biggest road win in their school's history. They had the win that got everybody's attention, that the whole nation was talking about. They flew home. They probably went out with their friends. They hung out. I assume he gave them Sunday off. So you're back on the plane on Monday for a Tuesday game, still feeling great about yourself, and now you got to somehow go back and find that chip on your shoulder again. It's hard, and every coach will tell you it's hard, and that's why Florida beat Tennessee by 30 and lost to Tennessee by 20, because the team that shows up with more of a chip on the shoulder than the other has an advantage when the two teams are relatively even. I don't think Florida and Mississippi State are even, but to your point, you're not playing a bad team. You're probably playing an NCAA tournament team. So you have to. The whole question about tonight, and by the way, it all comes down to who plays well. But the whole point about tonight, the thing that jumps off the page more than anything else is how does Florida play 3 days after the biggest road win in the school's 100-year history? That's the question. We'll see what winds up happening, but that'll be the storyline.
One thing too that I think helps Florida is Saturday's game wasn't close. It's not like Walter Clayton Jr. hit a buzzer beater.
It wasn't emotional.
They really from an emotional standpoint should have plenty left in the well. I mean, they were up 21 at one point in the second half. I don't know that the game ever really got closer than 9. And then Houck had the amazing tip out to Aberdeen. He drains the 3 to make it a 12-point game. So that should help. That it really wasn't an emotionally taxing win, despite what a great win it was. So, again, they should have plenty of energy. They should have plenty in the tank ready to go tonight. And I do think they match up pretty well. Mississippi State really used to be a pretty physical team.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that's really how they play now. It almost seems like Mississippi State's a little bit of a poor man's Florida.
Yeah.
And so I would think the styles will be fairly similar, and that always is going to benefit Florida because
they're better.
Yeah, they're better. I mean, they're one of the most they're obviously one of the elite teams in the country.
It was interesting listening to Todd Golden's comments about Riley Kugel. So we have great respect for Riley. He goes, but it could be an emotional game. I expect our players will keep the emotions in check, and but I want to be careful that the emotion doesn't affect the game. That was an interesting comment. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if that meant that he'd leave on bad terms. Did he leave on bad terms with some of the players? And I'm not suggesting that happened. I did, it was interesting. Usually a coach will say, "Hey, we have great respect for him. Look forward to playing him. He was a wonderful Gator." But it was more intense than. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it is interesting. I would think it will be more of an issue for Mississippi State. And again, Riley isn't a starter. So if Riley Kugel gets out there and doesn't look like he's really into the game, and then Chris Jans just simply will cut his minutes. But I would think on Florida's side of it, it's now so it's really almost it's a story, but it happens so much now that I don't know that from Florida's standpoint,
you're
seeing a guy that used to be a teammate on the other side, I don't know that rattles your cage so much. Now to your point, like if there's some sort of bad blood that we're unaware of, then maybe on the Florida side you press a little bit because you want to, obviously get the better of the matchup. But again, Riley Kugel isn't one of their stars. So that's why I don't think it's going to be a big factor. The fear that I think you have for Riley Kugel isn't so much the emotion. It's that we just know what he is as a player. And he's going to have one game out of every 5 where he's the best player on the court, or one of them. And if that game is tonight, Mississippi State will probably win. You have to hope that this will be, the usual for him, which is, fairly modest contributions. He'll score 8 or 9 points, and he'll probably, give you 2 or 3 turnovers. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Florida does play tonight. Because again, after this game, you do get a little bit of a letdown in terms of the Final Four. Yeah, I mean, the next 4 opponents are 8-33 in SEC play. So if Florida can get through, and that not counting Mississippi State, but once you get beyond tonight, South Carolina 0-10, Oklahoma 3-7, LSU 1-9, Georgia 4-7. So collectively, their records are all pretty good, but in league play, they're 8-33. So obviously they're struggling.
Yeah, one other thing about Kugel that might add to the emotion of it is he was supposed to be better than he was.
Right.
He was a highly regarded guy. He was on the same high school team as Denzel Aberdeen, and Aberdeen was almost an afterthought as a signee so he could come with Kugel. And then Kugel last year, everybody thought was their best player. When that season started, he was their best.
He's had some moments. I mean, he looks sensational out there.
No question. But he was supposed to be their best player. And it really didn't happen. He started losing minutes. He wasn't playing very much. He just never fit what they were trying to do, and it was kind of a very inauspicious end to his Florida career. I think that was probably and I think that's one of the things that Todd was probably talking about.
Yeah, and again, guys like Martin Chinlelu, Alexis, Klavzar. Well, Klavzar might have been on the team last year, but the point is, Florida's got.
Guys that are not connected to him.
A number of guys that never played with Riley Kugel.
You're exactly right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're live at JU, by the way, JU Day. I want to remind you, by the way, if you do want to bid on an item, text JU Day, J-U-D-A-Y, to 76278. It's that easy. JU Day. Text it to 76278. And again, to find out all about those great items, go on the website, juday.givesmart.com. Incredible items. I mean, some of the trips are off the chart here. Lessons from Daniel Murphy, a Daniel Murphy bat sign, an Artist Gilmore basketball, the D. Brown trifecta jerseys. Man, oh man, there's some good. This is Jaylen Brown jersey that is here as well. All kind of fun things. And that trip to the New York Stock Exchange. It's incredible how much great travel and great trips are here and great signed items. So help JU raise money for their athletic department. juday.givesmart.com. We'll take a break. Tim Koss is the outstanding president of the university. He'll join us after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Catch Gators basketball on 1010XL.
Top 5 Florida looks to make Mississippi State their next victim. Gators Bulldogs tonight at 7 on 1010 AM.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. If you have a sweet tooth like me, the sweetest desserts in town come from Spoonful Bakery. Spoonful is an online bakery. They deliver boxes of assorted desserts right to your home or office. They're so good, and they make for great gifts for friends or clients. And And if you want custom orders, wedding cakes or birthday cakes, or catered desserts for an event, they are the best. Log on to spoonful-bakery.com or call them at 904-515-4984. That's Spoonful Bakery for the sweetest desserts in town.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
You don't think this would be a good moment to text somebody?
There's never a bad moment to share your opinion on the 1010XL text line. Designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Share your opinion
As soon as possible.
at 641-1010.
Skilled trade jobs are booming, so begin your high-pay, high-demand career today through the Northeast Florida Builders Association. Their apprenticeship program provides paid training in some of the most highly sought-after skilled trades. Get paid while you train, full-time, in carpentry, electrical, HVAC, or plumbing. Plus, earn a 10% raise every year, and the classes are 100% tuition-free. Start your new career today and apply this week at nefpaapprenticeship.org.
Take your taste buds to One Night Taco Stand for Taco Tuesday. Get $2.99 tacos and $6.99 specialty drinks. The 1010XL restaurant of the day is One Night Taco Stand, Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, what's the matter?
I don't know about this air conditioner, Jason.
You know, my job is actually to...
I mean, 1 minute it's working and the next minute it's not working. And every time I leave the house, I don't know if I'm coming back to a nice, cool oasis or a steaming cesspool of sweaty garbage fumes and dog farts, and then I'll never get to sleep. And I'll be too late to call someone. And what if I've got a big meeting the next morning and I haven't slept a wink?
Okay, dude, stay cool. Or at least stay cooler.
But
Bueller Air and Plumbing can figure out why your AC only works sometimes and not all the time. We fix that kind of stuff every day.
You mean you can...
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all your time worrying about an air conditioner that can totally be fixed, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Your new roof from Universal Roof and Contracting can help save a life. Percentage of every new roof this month will go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude's is leading the way. The world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases. Call 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection. This promotion ends February 28th. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging in the mirror? Fine lines, sun damage, redness? They don't have to be part of your future. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, and I can help you look and feel your best without invasive surgery or painful treatments. Imagine rejuvenating your skin in a relaxing, comfortable environment with minimal to no downtime. Smooth out fine lines, even skin tone, and restore that youthful glow. Find out how to look and feel your best at dermagnify.com. Dermagnify.com.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. Head coach Mike Norvell held a booster tour interview where he answered many questions about the future of Florida State football. Norvell brought in UCF head coach Gus Malzahn to be the offensive coordinator this year, who Norvell has lots of experience working with. Here, Norvell talks about some of the similarities and differences that will be woven into this new offense with Gus Malzahn at the helm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good amount of carryover, just in some of the terminology. But then there were some things that I wanted to change, and I think that there's going to be enough of both that I think is really going to allow us to be dynamic in our approach and what we're trying to do. And, obviously our players are excited about all of it.
It's 72 degrees at 5:01. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We thank our friends from the Nimnick family dealerships, Lee Nimnick and Billy Nimnick III, which is fitting since we're here at JU and they're such big parts of this JU athletic family. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon, and what a pleasure to welcome in Tim Cost, the president of JU and a dear friend. And thanks for spending some time. How are you?
Thank you, Frank. Thank you. It's great to be here. Welcome back to campus.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here as well. I told you during the break before we came on, we've had a lot of coaches talk about today as we try to help the athletic department raise money, the importance of athletics on the campus, but they're seeing it through their prism, their coaches. From your chair, and I know you were a very good baseball player here too, so you wear two hats on this, but from the president's chair, Tim, how important is athletics to a college campus?
Yeah, I appreciate it, and thanks for doing JU Day with us. We'll talk about that. There are very few things that a college does. If everybody listening thinks back to their own college experience, and you think, how did I come to decide to go to UF or Auburn or LSU? Much of their earliest memories are around some sport. I mean, mine was here. I saw Artis Gilmore on television when I was 10 years old. And I asked my dad, what's Jacksonville? And he said, I don't know. Look it up in your World Book Encyclopedia.
Right,
so I found Jacksonville, North Carolina. I found Jackson, Mississippi. Anyway, for the role I play now, so to have been a D1 athlete here, and now my kids were D1 athletes, and to have sat on the NCAA board, and now to be president of my own alma mater, which I love dearly, it is the number one way for people all around the world, and we are a university that draws from all around the country, all around the world, to begin to make a connection. It's not just the classic, it's the front porch. I get that. That's all marketing speak. Yeah. This is where the passion comes, the connection comes. They love the sport. They played the sport. So to me, there is, it looks on a balance sheet and an income statement like a marketing investment. It is the top single item I look at when I look at, are we getting great young men and women from around the country? And if you look at the 125 to 135 incoming freshmen who are student athletes out of 750, so now you got 550 D1 athletes walking on a campus with less than 3,000 undergrads. Whole university is 4,200, but 3,000 undergrads, 1 out of 5 of them is an athlete. Another 1 out of 6 of them is military, ROTC. Okay, I'll take that culture all day long. Wow. So I love it. I'm a believer. I got a bias. I think Division I athletics at a university like ours or like a Stetson and Elon and Wake Forest is how you position yourself, and it sets us apart. And kids are coming here to play who are choosing us over Tufts in Georgetown to play lacrosse, or they're picking us over Mississippi State or Florida State to play baseball. They would never, ever have otherwise come here. Is that a long enough answer?
That's a perfect answer. That's a perfect answer.
Yeah, you guys have such outstanding leadership on the athletic side. What was the process like building such a great team?
Yeah, great question. The concept there when I came in is they had some kind of turnover and tumult in some of the key coaching positions, and certainly in the AD's office. And we set out you get to choose an athletic director maybe once or twice if you're lucky. If you're me and I'm in my 13th year, I made this choice once. And you can either pick somebody who's a good fundraiser and wins the press conference, or somebody who's media, or somebody compliance, or whatever. I wanted a guy with high energy, a man or a woman, high energy, who was outstanding at compliance. And that sounds like a boring thing, but I wanted to make sure we were clean, and I wanted us to be very good in the classroom. We were maybe the luckiest break we ever caught was finding a guy named Alex Ricker-Gilbert, who came in here at age 26 as my compliance person. Within 3 months, I said to the existing AD, Donnie Horner, who was all everything, everywhere, lots of degrees, I said, Donnie, this kid's better than you are. And we're going to have to make room. And he's going to be the AD. I remember he didn't put up a fight. He's like, Tim, this guy's unbelievable. And he had the Penn State background and everything. Now the question, once you get Alex, I said, Alex, A players attract A players. I don't care that you're the youngest AD in Division I. You go get the people. But now let's go down. Let's go game day experience. Let's go fundraising. Let's go marketing. All the outreach, the touches. And he built the form of a mid-major Division I athletic office. And now, if you go back, and it's been written in a lot of places, the grade point averages around here just for athletes went from 2.8 to 3.5. That is incredibly hard to do. We all play D1 sports. That's a full-time job. So when you come in here and you win a lot whether we win in lacrosse or baseball or basketball, it's hard. I would have been happy if he picked up, 2.8 to 3.0, whatever. But they believed in things. Then they started to attract other, people who were shot putters at Oklahoma, like Bambi Brunage came in and she helped. And you got Erica. People start, and it's just like a team. That you're on the field, that's the team that's in the athletic department. There's esprit de corps, there's culture. And we're going to talk about it later, I've taken many of the things Alex put in there, and I've lifted them up and put them into the whole university, not the other way around.
Wow.
We did not say, this is the JU way, Alex, you toe the line. We went the other way. In fact, we have taken people out of athletics and put them in, quote, the corporate side of things, the Howard Building administration, and they've had a huge impact on things. So that's been a passion, because I believe talent wins the day all the time. I love process. I love technology. It's all great. But you give me Alex Ricker-Gilbert and who he's going to build, and we'll be fine.
Tim Koss with us, the JU president. Tell me about some of those things. That really piqued my interest, that some of the athletics culture helps you in other departments.
Absolutely. A guy like Scott Bacon and the team he built. So the easy ones are communications and experience and fundraising. Those are generally things every university tries to do well. Alex took it and kind of hothoused that. What is it that, look at the Nimnick family that you mentioned at the top, who are some of our best friends. Look at the names that are now associated with the programs here, whether it's Daniel Murphy or, great to have Jim Furyk around and Russell Knox and all these folks. That idea of they were doing things in a sort of a micro setting. They were taking care of 550 students. I'm taking care of 4,200 students. They were reaching out to a donor base, let's say in the dozens to hundreds. I'm in the thousands. I was looking at the quality of the communications, the outreach, how they were using technology. You go back 8 or 9 years to the early days before we had this technology. And I said, see, that stuff works. There's no barrier. We shouldn't say, well, we know who we are and we know who we're not as a university. And so we weren't going to say we are such a gilded ivory tower that we would never get down and roll around and hustle. And I said, that's what athletics does. And the people in this room, they created an experience about what it's like to come onto campus, to be with us, to meet the coaches, to eat here, to play here, to watch a game. And, you can play downtown in a 14,000-seat arena, men's and women's basketball, and not have the energy when you bring it back here and you draw 1,500 in a place that holds 1,500. Our coach comes in, Jordan Mincy goes 15-0 at home. So it's with sort of micro activities lifted up and exploded. And then I even borrowed some of the people who are still on the Howard Building side.
Cool. You guys, facility-wise, have done a lot of great things. There's the practice facility. I guess a couple of years now that's been online. You guys have the amenities, the pool area that's going in. But what are some other things that you'd like to get accomplished in the next several years?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's always an arms race on capital spending. If you're going to go, I mean, I'm always happy when we beat the University of Florida in baseball each year. They're fantastic to play us. I'm glad Florida State plays us. You know, when I played, it was 4 against Georgia, 4 against Florida, Florida State, Miami. Then down would come, Michigan, Notre Dame, Penn State. You can't schedule like that anymore. Everything about the NCAA plays against you there. So if we're going to compete, rather than put in a 14,000-seat arena on campus, we like playing in a place where we're hard to beat. And it's clearly a throwback to Artis' day. But you can't do that. You needed to give the program a chance. So we built a $9.5 million practice facility right next door. Latest technology, new offices, better floor, better lights, better training facilities. And that's what the coaching staff knows how to recruit into. If you look at what we've done with baseball, there's a lot more going on there. Baseball is probably, and it's not just because I played here, but we've had 27 guys drafted into the NBA. We've had multiples of that drafted into the MLB. And the idea that you could create close to an SEC type experience so that when, Jameis Winston came here and pitched against us, when you go back in time to just the last 5 years of the top 10 teams coming here, we don't need to be embarrassed. I mean, it holds thousands of people. The quality's good. We just put in a lot of money for lights. If you start to look around, then we completely revamped the lacrosse stadium, which is now, we believe, will be the home of lacrosse in the South. Disappointed we got upset by Duke the other day, 2 days ago, after we'd beaten them 2 times in a row at their place. But when you open against Syracuse and Duke, and that's who we should be playing, and the team's going to be good. So we pick and choose our spots. Alex is very judicious in kind of which is going to be first class, which is going to be business class, which is going to be economy class. We can do the different sports sort of up and down at different levels, but it's a marketing and capital investment I'm very willing to make.
So today we have JU Day. We have some great items. I mean, the trip to Tahoe and the trip to Vegas, and Dee's taking people behind the scenes of the Orlando Magic. I mean, you got that list. It's pretty good stuff, right?
Thank you to what you all are doing here on JU Day. We're here in Kinney Lounge, named for Frank Kinney, great president when I was a ball player here. I'm just looking down this stuff, guys. I mean, the New York Stock Exchange, where I've been many, many times in my business career, NHL, the Orlando Magic, I saw Shaq play his last game for them, Tahoe. I mean, it's just, this is the sort of thing, we work so hard on community connections, partnerships, whether it's Baptist Health and the Mayo Clinic, or whether it's Florida Blue and Black Knight, or whether it's all of you. This stuff's hard. It's easy. It's a crowded landscape out there. You got a lot of people you could do this with. We're really grateful, and people are what I underestimated when I came back. I hadn't been back since '81 when I graduated. I underestimated the kindness and the caring a community would have toward a small private university. I mean, I spent 32 years in very large companies, huge companies, and so your unit of measure was winning against another company or an 18th of a market share point in Western Europe, not people's futures, lives, and that's what this is about. So for you to come do this today means the world, and this athletic department will be better because you agreed to do this, and we're really grateful.
I appreciate that, Tim. Final question, and it's a great your comment's a great segue to it. I'm going to embarrass you a little bit, but that's okay. But I'm going to talk to you about what we've talked about off air a number of times. What I think is so special about your relationship here is you wanted to be the JU president. You didn't apply for 12 president jobs. I made the connection to my friend Tony Baselli. Tony just got the EVP job, as you know, and you and I texted about this. But Tony wasn't looking to be the EVP of the Saints or the Chiefs or the Panthers. He loves the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Tony Baselli dearly loves the Jaguars. Mm-hmm. You feel that way about JU. Why was this university and this position so special to you?
Yeah, wow, that's great. Well, you're really kind. I mean, Tony's a friend and fantastic. He's going to be great. I mean, there's so many talented people who can do the sorts of things that I do. I never said I was the most talented. I had a career. I lived up in the Northeast, my wife and I and our kids and all the stuff you're supposed to do, your church and everything. And talent plus passion is overwhelming. And I had that for this place, and I'll tell you why. But the third part, and I see it in Tony, I see it in other people, you got to be willing to sacrifice. I mean, if this is about the money, don't come do these things. If you're talented and there's 100 people who can do the job and you're passionate for the place, there are not 100 people who share Tony's passion, and I would offer mine. And then if you're willing to, either forego the money or the time or that vacation, or you're willing to take a shot to the kneecaps because somebody disagrees with your choice of a law school or medical school. Now you begin to unlock. You really begin to create almost zealotry, and then you got to go find, is there an Alex Ricker Gilbert who feels the same way? If not, maybe I'll get somebody equally talented who's more bloodless, and it won't be the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at the culture we've been trying to build here, I use the word family all the time. When I came here, people said, never say family. And I said, I don't know. I said family when I was at PepsiCo, and we were 250,000 employees in 200 countries. I think I can say that. So that idea of here, for me, it was because this place changed my life. I came here as, I'm sure, an overly cocky 18-year-old who played every sport and had my successes and had my butt handed to me a number of times. You know, the coach came out to get me the first time he came to get me, the second or third game I pitched, and he said, you remember that cleanup hitter you could never get out in high school? I said, sure. He said, they're all here. And I'll never forget that, and they let me stay in the rotation 4 years, but it changed. It was more global, it was more connected, it was more community, it was warmer, and I took that with me into my entire business career, and I felt I should pay back and pay forward. So thank you.
Well, we've done a great job here, and I appreciate that. Tim Cost, the president of JU, is a big part, the biggest part of JU Day. Thanks for coming by. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Hays has headlines after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Happy New Year from everyone at Nimnick Buick GMC. And as we begin 2025, Nimnick is excited to offer even more choices and better prices for you, ensuring your car buying experience is second to none. If you're wondering where to go for a better buying experience, it's simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Here's to another year of driving forward together. Looking for a better used car shopping experience? Well, you'll find it at Nimnick Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Now with Car Bravo at Nimnick, you'll get transparent pricing, the best value on your trade, and peace of mind. Now is the best time to shop certified used vehicles and buy with confidence. And man, you get all the makes and models: Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. That's right, all makes, all models. Trading in your old vehicle? Don't forget who gives you top dollar for your trade. Nobody but Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Another season of NASCAR play-by-play starts Sunday.
To the Daytona 500.
Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234.
Winning the Daytona 500
on your NASCAR station, 1010XL.
This is Hays Carlyon for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay. Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
When the heat's on high or the chill is too much, who you gonna call? Cool Cats Heating and Cooling is locally owned and operated with a perfect touch. You'll keep your home just right, day or night. AC to heating, don't take a beating. Call the coolest cats in town. With a 5-star Google rating, they're your neighbors, ready to help. So get your paw of approval from Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. CoolCatsJacks.com.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's game time for your business, and Advanced Business Solutions has the winning play. With Xerox copiers, you'll never miss a deadline. Fast, reliable, and built for high performance, Xerox copiers keep your team ahead of the competition. From printing to scanning, Xerox brings the MVPs of efficiency to your office. Ready to make the winning move? Hire the champions at Advanced Business Solutions. Veteran owned.
Printers, copiers, and IT management. Advanced Business Solutions.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Prosser here, still telling you about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Lifetime Enclosures is keeping the sale going into February. Enclosures starting at only $89 a month, and if you get a complete enclosure done, you get free flooring. If you just need flooring, Lifetime Flooring is running a buy one room, get the second room free. Now offering floor coating for that garage or patio deck too. Give them a call or visit their showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, so why don't we tee off? Tee it high and let it fly.
He's got a beautiful backswing.
Oh, he got all of that one. Tour news, local updates, and the latest gear. Cut a few strokes off your game Saturday mornings at 10 with the Edwin Watts Golf Hour on 1010XL. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. We are out here at JU. Again, text JU Day, D-A-Y, to 76278. JU has got so many great things that you can go bid on. So we're pleased to be out here. Again, thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, great news on the Jaguars front today. The Jags extend team president Mark Lamping through the 2030 season. I think when the history of Jacksonville sports are written many years from now, Mark Lamping is going to be a figure that is going to be revered when people really get, I think, a more of a macro view of exactly what he did here for this city and for this organization. I was really glad to see Mark Lamping going to be sticking around as Jags president through 2030, which of course will be the stadium will be opening and all the great stuff that comes along with that.
And even that's an understatement about him. He's so good. Of all the things Shad Khan did, the most important thing he did was buy the team and commit to keep it in Jacksonville. That's first. He bought this team from a wonderful man in Wayne Weaver, and he committed that he wasn't. Wayne didn't want that team moved, and Shad wasn't moving. That was the first. The next best thing he did more than anything else was bring in Mark Lamping. Mark Lamping is a megastar. He was a megastar when he worked for Anheuser-Busch. He was a megastar when he ran the St. Louis Cardinals. He was a megastar when he built MetLife Stadium in New York. And he's been a megastar here. And people, you know, we focus on the football team. We're supposed to. It's about a football team. That's why we have it, because it's a football. And the football team hasn't been as good as people want. But don't let that, I've said this many times. I've introduced Mark. I've said this. We were a franchise that nobody took seriously until they started making the things happen off the field. We still haven't won enough games to be taken as seriously as we'd like. I know that. I know that. But wait till that damn stadium gets built. Wait till people see it. Just like the way their jaws dropped when those big scoreboards went up and those pools and palm trees went up and when Daly's place went up. Wait till they see this. Mark Lamping's a megastar, he's a good dude, and I can't say enough. And I mean that very sincerely. I can't say enough good things about him, and I'm so glad they extended him.
Absolutely. Jaguars Executive Vice President of Football Operations Tony Baselli said on The Drill, look at Philadelphia's dominance on the line as a model for where the Jaguars are going.
100%, and Tony's always said that, and I think Liam Cohen is in lockstep with him. You got to win the line of scrimmage. I mean, that more than anything else, you have to win the line of scrimmage. Tony's right. And my guess is that's what they will try and do through free agency and the draft as early as this year. I truly believe that.
We're going to get to some NFL power rankings here in a minute, but one thing that I'm kind of struck by, it doesn't seem like the Eagles are number one on very many of these lists that I've seen so far. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, it does surprise me, but I think people are still in love with the dramatic, charismatic passing quarterbacks. So I haven't seen the power power polls, but I'm going to guess Buffalo and the Ravens and the Chiefs are, because people are in love with the quarterback play and the way they play. People aren't yet in love with the way Jalen Hurts plays, and that's a shame, by the way, because those 72 yards he rushed for mattered. He broke the rushing record for yards by a quarterback in a Super Bowl that he set 2 years ago. So people aren't just the last 2 points you made, the one Tony made about the physicality, and now the power polls. People still don't respect that as much as they should. They're number one on my damn power poll. I promise you that.
Now that we've had a little bit of extra time to decompress from that Super Bowl and how surprising it was, what do you think happens to the Chiefs now? What becomes of Kansas City? Do they get right back to winning it again, or do you see a little bit of a regression coming for the Chiefs?
That's a great question, Hays. I don't see a regression coming, except for the fact that anything other than winning the Super Bowls is a regression to you. It's a great question. I hear you. Here's my thinking. I think the Chiefs are going to be really good. There's times we thought the Patriots had dipped. They lost to the Giants, and they came storming back because they had a great coach, they had a great quarterback, they had a great culture, and they knew how to do it. I think the Chiefs are like that. Now, they got some work to do. They have, ever since Tyreek Hill left, they lost their explosiveness. You've heard me say that 1,000 times. Well, they got to figure that out. They had too many missing pieces, and they've got to fix them. But to your question, my guess is they will fix them.
And the early projections for viewership for the Super Bowl have started to come in today. Fox estimating that the Super Bowl was watched by 127 million people.
Yeah, it was a great, and that's just going to go up and up and up. We haven't talked about the broadcast. We will moving forward. I think Tom Brady, over the course of the year, is way better than people gave him credit for. Didn't have a great Super Bowl. I thought he was almost nervous. The insight that I thought he gave, and he was starting to give, I mean, I thought it was Aikman-Romo-like insight in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Did not think he had a great Super Bowl for that reason. I think he's going to be good, but I didn't think he had a great Super Bowl.
Do you think it's because, as a broadcaster, you can't allow yourself to be shocked by the result that you're calling?
Yeah.
Do you think that factored in? That he was so surprised at the kind of game that they were calling?
Yeah, it could be. I thought maybe the surprise of the result threw him off a little bit. He sounded nervous to me. He relied on when I played more times than he needed to. And again, I think he's done fine. I think he's gotten beat up way too much. But I didn't think he had a great Super Bowl. I didn't think he told us the why as often. I thought I don't mind. Hey, I like when I played, we did this. But I thought there might have been too much of that in this game. I think he's still going to be very good. I know people beat him up, but I didn't think he had a great Super Bowl.
Yeah, interesting. Let's get it to the Super Bowl ads. We didn't get to this yesterday. There were some that I liked. The Shane Gillis, Peyton Manning cul-de-sac party.
The beauty
I thought was fun with Peyton wearing the fanny pack.
Yeah, the fanny pack and the jean shorts with the shirt tucked in. I thought the jean shorts, shirt tucked in with the fanny pack was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. There was Matt Damon kind of had a funny ad with David
The end of that was fantastic.
Yeah.
There was Ben Affleck famous.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
That was disappointing.
When Harry Met Sally was a good one, particularly if you love that movie. Plus, you got to see Sydney Sweeney at the end of that one, which was always a good thing. And the Baby Clydesdales were really good. I wasn't a big fan, and neither was Gene, of Seal as Seal.
I thought Seal as a Seal was tremendous.
Disturbed us, but you guys loved it. So
Seal as a Seal. Well, here's what happened with Seal as a Seal. Once Suzanne and I saw it, we didn't go to party. Just Suzanne and I watched the game together. And once we saw Seal as a Seal, I don't know what else he said. I don't know what else happened in the commercial.
Yeah.
We were just cracking up that seal was a seal. I thought it was hilarious. Again, I have no idea what happened after that.
Right.
So, but no, I thought it was a good collection of commercials.
A lot of news from around the NFL. The Titans say they are open to trading the number 1 pick. Now, again, everybody often says that, hey, we're open for business.
Yeah.
But as a Jaguars fan, from that perspective, what do you hope the Titans do with that number 1 pick?
Well, what I like is they're the arch rival who has questions at quarterback, and I don't think there's an answer. So I like, what you don't want is your arch rival to have an easy answer to their biggest concern. So if that makes any, I don't care what they do. I don't think if they get out of there, I don't think there's a player in this year's draft. I don't think there's a player, not Travis Hunter, not the 2 quarterbacks. I don't think there's any player that immediately changes the team. Sometimes there's a player that changes the team. Now, look, you could get Jared Verse in a top 10 pick, and he turns out to be the most dominant rookie at his position in a long time, but you don't know that. So going in, Hays, I don't know that I've got a strong feeling about that. I like the fact that when your arch rival's got the first overall pick, there's not a quick answer, and I don't think there is.
Yeah, I hope they stay put and take one of the quarterbacks, and then hopefully that player will struggle. But it will be interesting to see, because I agree with you. I don't think they're getting a treasure trove for the number 1 pick. I just don't think anybody's going to go up for either quarterback. I don't think Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. I think those are great prospects, but I don't know that they're, let me hand you my next 2 first-round picks so that I can take Travis Hunter.
I will tell you this. For me, as good as Travis Hunter is, and the quarterbacks are what they are, and I hope Mason Graham comes here, Abdul Carter's a pretty good player now. Now he's the guy. Let me rescind a little bit what I said before. He's the closest to could change the team a little bit of anybody in the draft.
Yeah, he's an outstanding player, no doubt about it. We're looking forward to seeing him in a couple weeks in Indianapolis at the Combine. Let's get it to the New York Jets, who are not keeping quarterback Aaron Rodgers. So Rodgers will be a free agent. Is that smart on the Jets' part? Does he go down as one of the biggest flops that we've seen in terms of a free agent signing? And then what becomes of Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, a lot of good questions. Let's start with the flop. I think Aaron Rodgers had such an accomplished career in Green Bay that there's a lot of guys. Johnny Unitas still, some people think, is the greatest quarterback of all time. But he flopped when he went to the Rams or the Chargers, or wherever he went. I guess it was the Chargers. Joe Namath was a wonderful player, but he flopped when he went to the Rams. So I don't think that mars it all that much. Yes, it was time to move. The Jets did the right thing. You got a new start. You got a new coach. You got a new plan. You got a new vision. It's going to take a while to rebuild it with a young quarterback. As for Aaron Rodgers, I'm not sure anybody's going to want him. Someone will sign him. But I don't know that he's going to be. I don't know that he's going to be heavily sought after. I saw Mike Florio said it should be the Steelers. I guess. I don't know.
That'd be really interesting. Him and Tomlin.
Yeah, I saw the Titans.
That would be fascinating to see how they got along.
Does anybody? You look at the teams that are quarterback play away, the Raiders, the Steelers, the Titans. I don't know. Is there anybody that you think makes sense for Aaron to go get Aaron Rodgers this time around?
I would say, if I'm Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers call, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
And that because you can win in Pittsburgh. They've got some deficiencies, but I would say if you're Aaron Rodgers, you're probably worried about your options being pretty limited to maybe the Titans, where obviously you've got no chance to win right away. And when you're as old as, what is he, 42?
Yeah, I don't think he takes just any contract.
Yeah, I think it would have to be a place where he feels like he can be competitive. Pittsburgh might be the only solution for that, so we will see. Another big-time NFL player that looks like he'll be finding a new home. The 49ers seem ready to trade receiver Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, and I don't know. I got to tell you, when Brandon Ayuk started to emerge, when McCaffrey kind of found his rhythm with Kittle being so steady, I think we looked up and Deebo was about the 4th or 5th most important player. Did you feel that way?
It feels like it's
all of a sudden
there's been a significant regression.
Yeah. I don't know that he's as attractive as he once was.
Yeah, I would agree. We talked about the power rankings, so we're going to start with ESPN's, and then we'll maybe throw in some as the week progresses. But ESPN's power rankings, we're just going to stick to the division. They've got the Jaguars 26th. They've got the Texans 11th. the Colts 23rd, and the Titans dead last.
Yeah, I would think based on what you've earned, that's right. We think the Jags are better than the 26th best team. I still feel that way. But the numbers you get are what you've earned, and I think those numbers are right. I think the Texans 11 is right. I think the Jags in the bottom third is right. I think the Titans dead last is right. What did you say about the Colts?
23rd.
Yeah, I think I would have a hard time, despite the fact that I think our team is better than that. Based on what they've earned for themselves on the field, I couldn't quibble with any of those numbers.
Let's get to college football. Billy Napier has hired Nick Polk to be the Florida general manager. First time ever that the Gators have that. He will handle, again, it's amazing to even see these sentences together with a college football program, but he will handle the salary cap,
right?
Salary allocation for players in the NIL space. But Polk is a seasoned executive. He spent 17 years in the Falcons front office, so certainly has a ton of experience. But obviously, this is a brand new world in the college game. What'd you make of the hire?
Let me read from the release. Both Nick Polk, who is and Benjamin Elsner, who are in the front office. Polk will oversee the front office for the Gators to be responsible for revenue share and NIL allocation, student-athlete contract negotiations, football budgets, roster management, and work with football personnel. Elsner will assist with the management of salary cap and contracts, but will also lead the program's efforts in analytics and AI. What are we doing? I mean,
pro football.
Who's in charge of coaching the tight ends? You know what I want to know in college football? I want to know who the tight ends coach is.
Yeah.
What has happened to our world?
Isn't it amazing?
But I mean, when I read the release this morning, I don't know if I laughed or was aghast or what are we doing?
It's just incredible. It was the first time.
Who's the cornerbacks coach?
Right.
Let's report on that.
And every school is hiring that. You have to.
I know.
You've got to approach it like an NFL model.
Yeah, I'm not ripping the Gators.
No, I know.
This is the world we're in. Right. It's just when I chuckled when I read the paragraph.
Yeah,
I really did.
Without a doubt. Let's get to college basketball. Florida at Mississippi State tonight. Reports are that Elijah Martin will not play with that hip injury, so he'll miss a second straight game. The Gators have actually moved to an underdog in this game. Florida is 20-3 overall, 7-3 in the SEC, while the Bulldogs are 17-6 and 5-5. Frank, do the Gators win?
I'll get to the game in a minute. I think the Gators are going to win the game. But you understand the betting world way better than I do. You've got a real good acumen for that. I got a terrible one. How would the number move that much? Tell me what you told me off air.
So I thought the Gators were a 1.5 point favorite, but then the Martin news came out, and Mississippi State was now a 2.5 point favorite.
So
it moved
points.
About 3 to 4 points.
But even though we knew he might not play anyway, and again, I'd be the worst bettor of all time. I'd be bankrupt in a week. So I'm glad I'm not a bettor. I'd be terrible at it. Back to the game itself. I think Florida's going to win because I think so much is going to be made of the letdown. So much is going to be made. I asked it 4 times already today. Will they have that letdown? Will they not have the chip on their shoulder? The game after the game is the one teams lose a lot. Because so much is made of that, I think they're going to play well and win the game. That's my opinion. What do you think?
I think Florida wins. I'll say Florida wins by 7 or 8. It'll be a little sticky, but I think Florida gets it done. We are going to get it to a flashback today, Frank, because on this date,
I love flashbacks.
35.
I love flashbacks.
Yeah, you're going to like this one. On this date, 35 years ago today, this happened.
Legs together is Busted landing these. Oh, nice uppercut by Busted Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked Mike Tyson down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson hits the canvas. He's in big trouble. He may not be able to recover. It's up to 7 and 8. He's not going to make it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Buster Douglas is the new heavyweight champion of the world.
35 years ago today in the Tokyo Dome,
Wow.
Buster Douglas wins the heavyweight crown over Iron Mike Tyson. Greatest upset, arguably, of our lifetime.
So it's not like the Holyfield ear biting where I remember exactly where I was. I don't remember where I was, but I remember how shocked I was.
Mm-hmm.
That's what probably stands out. I didn't realize it was 35 years.
Isn't that
ago.
amazing?
Wow, I didn't realize that long. But I remember how shocked it was almost like a joke. We almost couldn't believe it because the guy that beat Tyson wasn't going to be some tomato can that nobody had heard of, but that's what it was.
Yeah,
hard to believe.
Hard to believe, and we will get you out on our musical note of the day. We're going to pay tribute to Dire Straits today because their legendary album, Brothers in Arms, was the #1 album in the country this week. Back in 1986, Brothers in Arms sold over 30 million copies. This is Money for Nothing.
It's amazing if you read a lot about rock music in the 70s and the 80s, how respected Mark Knopfler is among the other great guitarists and Clapton, and how respected he was in the London music scene, but music scene overall. You know that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we don't talk about him the way we do Elvis and Michael Jackson and Prince, but how respected he was in the musical world is incredible. Everywhere you read. So I love Mark Knopfler. I love Dire Straits. Well done as always.
Thank you.
We're live at JU. Back to wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Super Bowl 59 won by the Philadelphia Eagles as they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Second Super Bowl victory in franchise history. Jalen Hurts, the MVP, threw 2 touchdowns and ran for 1 more. Looking ahead to Super Bowl 60, which will be held at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs are the early betting favorites to win the Super Bowl. Both are plus 650. The Buffalo Bills, the Detroit Lions, and the defending champions, Philadelphia Eagles, are all plus 700. San Francisco plus 1,400. Cincinnati plus 1,600, and the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Commanders both at plus 2,000. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the G-Bank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Roses are red, violets are blue. A broken pipe? That's no way to woo. This Valentine's Day, don't let plumbing or HVAC problems ruin the romance. Whether it's a leaky faucet, a backed-up septic tank, or a heater that's colder than your ex's heart, Duck Duck Rooter is here to save the day. Our expert team will fix it fast and at a fair price so you can get back to the love you deserve. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckrooter.com.
The county just requested more electric charging stations.
Orders have really amped up at Able Electric.
We need 3 more at First and Main, and we just got another hotel chain.
It's no shock. Able Electric needs able electricians.
Grocery store wants charging stations too.
And fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Attention homeowners, Chelsea here. For a limited time, Renewal by Andersen is making it easy to upgrade your home during our free window month. When you buy 4 windows or patio doors, you'll get 1 free. Our exclusive Fibrex material delivers the perfect combination of energy efficiency, durability, and style. Perfect for your home makeover this season. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. See website for details. License number CGC1527613.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker here. And, a year ago, February 20th to be exact, is when I started on my Awaken 180 journey. At that point, I weighed 317 pounds. I was in a bad way, man. There's no other way to describe it. I was in a bad way. And now here we are, basically a year later, and I'm down over 115 pounds. And it's all thanks to the best weight loss program I've ever been on. I tried a lot of different things over the years. Nothing ever worked. Awaken 180 worked like a charm. Again, the best weight loss program I've ever been on. If it's time for you to lose weight like it was for me, do yourself a favor, do your family a favor, and go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com. Look, if I can do it, you can do it. And you could be their next success story. Do it today at Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
The best teal-colored coverage includes Mia's Quick Hits.
Get the latest news from inside the building and around the league. I'm Mia O'Brien, 1010XL's NFL Insider.
Driven by Arlington Toyota. Available on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
This is head coach Matthew Driscoll from the UNF men's basketball team. When our players suffer an orthopedic injury, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist gets our players back on the court pain-free.
We appreciate the endorsements from our high school and college coaches. This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker, card games, and hospitality. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And it's not just poker. With delicious dining, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com and ante up for fun.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
This is Hays Carlyon for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards. And it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
If you're listening to 1010 and you're a parent, chances are your kids are playing sports. Well, check out i9sports.com. With spring and summer registration open right now, including all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. i9sports.com, enter 1010 for a discount.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where have we been today? Well, I'll tell you where we've been, where we are. We're here at JU. It's JU Day. All kind of terrific auction items. Again, go online to juday.givesmart.com, and you can see these terrific items. The trip to Lake Tahoe, the trip to Las Vegas, all expense paid, man, to Las Vegas. You kidding me? And see the hockey team play there and the hockey team play in Tahoe. The New York Stock Exchange trip. I mean, behind the scenes at the New York Stock Exchange. What an educational experience. What a fun experience. And you're going downtown and staying in New York City, too, by the way. I mean, that's an awful lot of fun. The Orlando Magic trip behind the scenes, all kind of good stuff. One more time, juday.givesmart.com. You can text JUDAY to 76278. And you've got a terrific item coming your way. So we appreciate Chris Hays, the baseball coach at JU, stopping by today. And Tim Koss, the president. Wasn't he good?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't he good on air? The president of JU stopping by, and we appreciate him doing that as well. And all day long, I want to thank Dan and Jeff for coming out here. The ladies from Helmets and Heels, Mia, Taylor, and Lauren were out here. Joe, Matt, and Leon were out here. And by the way, Mike and Tony certainly would have come. But look, they got their hands are full talking Jaguar football. So that they have one charge, and they do a magnificent job of doing it on Jaguars today. But we appreciate and Steve Griffin, our GM, making all this happen, allowing all this to happen. It was great to be a partner of JU, and we appreciate them wanting to have us out here. So it was a great day today. That's where we've been over the course of the program today. Gators tonight, I think they're going to win. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't. Again, they're an underdog now.
And Mississippi State will know now how Florida plays without Elijah Martin, which Auburn didn't have the benefit of.
That's right, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think they're going to win. Wouldn't be shocked if they lose the game. But I said before, I don't want to go back on what I said, somehow get through this stretch 2-2. They can lose tonight, and they will have gotten through the stretch 2-2, which would make them 7-4 in the league, and I think 21-4 overall, which would be very, very good. We never got to Kellen Moore. Because it's not really news. It's news, but it's nice. One of those news stories that everybody knew was coming. I think Kellen Moore is going to be a good coach. I don't know that you can do much now with the circumstance the Saints have, no quarterback, the cap held, the whole bit. So I don't know that it's a quick turnaround, but I like him as a coach. I think he's going to be a good coach.
Yeah, I think it's a good hire for New Orleans, exactly for what you mentioned, where they sort of are, knowing that you're going to need 2 years to get everything back in, alignment with your cap. Now, it's an easy division. It's sort of like ours. Tampa Bay has owned it lately, but they're not viewed as a juggernaut like some of the elite clubs in this league. So, the NFC South is a winnable league, winnable division, but the Saints they've held on to so many old players and just kicked money down the line. So the best thing for Kellen Moore, I'm assuming he got, a 5-6 year deal, maybe longer, winning a Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator, but he's going to need that. And they need to just go ahead and say, look, we're with you. We understand that it's going to be a couple years, but let's go ahead and tear it down, build your culture, and you're our guy for 6 years out, because you can't expect him to go in and win in 3 years. It's not going to happen.
Yep. Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Rick Ballou joins us now as we get set. Rick, the general manager hunt is on for the Jaguars. Any thoughts? Any favorites on that? What are your expectations?
Yeah, I've always kind of liked the Ian Cunningham. I know he's been linked a little bit to Liam Cohen, and I think in some circles that would come as a surprise, because typically you want to get a guy from a winning organization. But if you really track the work history of Ian Cunningham, he does have that. But this appears to be a very long process, with the first interview ongoing today. We know of at least 2 others that'll take place this week, perhaps more. And then certainly all next week as well, they're going to interview these candidates.
Yeah, I would think, I said this earlier in the program, I would think 9 or 10 get a first interview. I think they probably bring back 2 or 3 finalists and then wind up picking one of those finalists. So I think it'll go something like that. All right, what's coming up tonight, Rick?
We got a lot on that. I want to talk about this proposal involved with Deebo Samuel. Is it nothing but hogwash, or is there a little something there? Hey, when you're 72 days out, this is the type of stuff you talk about when you have the draft capital the Jaguars do, and also the ability to go out and spend. I mean, you're going to have to re-sign Deebo Samuel as well. So that, a couple of other Jaguar things I got up my sleeve. Really looking forward to the next couple of hours.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Rick.
See ya.
Rick Ballou goes into the night, and that comes right now. That'll do it for our program. Thank you for being part of it. Again, thanks to our friends from JU for having us out. One more time, text JU Day to 76278. To find out all those great auction items, go to juday.givesmart.com. You can walk away with a great product and help JU build this terrific athletic department. We're out of here. Tomorrow, we'll see you back in studio. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.